All right, I think we are live now.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, hello and welcome everyone. If you're watching and you do not see any video, that's because my video camera is not working, but I would like to welcome you guys to Entrepreneurs Coloring Outside the Line. My name is Rafi Chowdhury, and I will be the host of this show for today. And today we're about to do a Google Hangout with Cheryl King. Cheryl is actually an entrepreneur. She started a nonprofit organization known as Jewels for Jewels, and it's a nonprofit that helps abused or wounded women, kind of helps them go through the process of getting healing from that, and being able to connect with other women of such nature, and really get some help. So I'm not going to introduce her anymore. I'm going to let Cheryl do the talking now. Cheryl, glad to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about. First, let's start with your background. What have you done so far?
Concerning jewels or just with me?
Let's talk about yourself first. Yeah, your background.
Um, Before I started Jules, I was a front-end manager at Kroger. I worked there for about 20 years. Besides that, I was a mom. I'm a mom of four grown children. And
Okay,
that's about it. Yeah.
cool, cool. So, what what made you want to start Jewels for Jewels? How did you get into that? Tell us when you started it, what it does, and that kind of stuff. Let us know a little bit more about it.
I started it in July of 2012, and the reason that I started was in 2010. I I went through a divorce, and so I noticed that I wasn't the only one that was dealing with low self-esteem issues and things of that nature. And so I started talking to other people about some of the things that I was going through, and I decided that, um, well, I seen actually that I wasn't the only one that was dealing with hurt and abusive relationships and stuff. And so I started talking to people, and it kind of just went on from there. Um, and I started seeing that I wasn't the only one that was working hard and needed some help. And we come from a Christian background, so I use biblical principles to help ladies to get their lives back on track because that's what worked for me.
Hmm. Okay, wow. So how did you when you first began? Were you doing like were you just talking to friends and helping them out of your home? You didn't have an organization at first, as I understand it. You were already doing some of this kind of stuff. What was how did it begin? How did it come from that just casually talking to some people, helping them towards growing into a nonprofit actual organization? How'd you do that?
Okay. Actually, one of the ladies that were, we actually started meeting at Starbucks. Some of the ladies that were, that I had met, because I had changed everything. I had moved, I had changed my friends, and so the church that I was going to, I was just trying to make some friends. And we would leave church, and then we would go to Starbucks. And from at Starbucks, we would just share our life stories and different things that we were going through. And actually, one of the ladies that were coming with us at Starbucks, I was helping her get her life back on track. And I didn't know it, but she knew how to write 501c3. So it just so happened that I was helping her to get her life back on track. And she wrote our 501c3. And within about 3 months, it was approved. So we went from just a few ladies talking at Starbucks to becoming a nonprofit organization.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about this 501c3. I've never started an organization. Lots of us haven't really done what you've done. What does it take to start your own nonprofit
A lot.
legally?
um, you have to have some bylaws. You have to have different rules that you want to go by. You have to know like the people that you're trying to reach. Now the legal beagle of all of it, that I don't know. That's why I let her do it. But we just have to have a lot of just rules, and there's a ton of paperwork. And usually it to get someone to write a 501c3 is kind of expensive. So it was just super cool that it just so happened that she knew how to do it. So some of the red tape that it takes to get one, I actually skipped all that process because she already knew how to do it. So it wasn't
Mm,
that hard for me.
gotcha. Wow.
Yeah.
And so Okay, so now you've got a couple of ladies meeting at Starbucks, and one of them happens to know how to write the bylaws for a nonprofit, and you guys get the
Mhm.
bylaws and stuff like that. Then what? Then what was your next step? Did you have a venue you guys decided on? Did you still continue to meet at Starbucks, at someone's house? How did it go from there?
Okay. Then we started meeting at a hotel, and we would meet every once a week, and we
Uh,
would just go to our church and go to different places and just invite people to come. And we would have I would go from teachings of stuff that God did for me, or different videos, YouTube videos and things, and we would just go from there, and we just started teaching women slowly but surely, step by step, of how to get their lives back on track.
mm, okay, gotcha. Very nice. And so from there, where do you guys meet now again? What's your meeting
We,
location?
okay, it's called the All Suite Hotel in Jackson,
Uh-huh.
uh, and we meet every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Okay.
Uh,
And so how do you advertise how do people know that this exists?
it's so crazy. Facebook is my best friend. Facebook and Twitter is my best friend, and word of mouth.
Word of
And
mouth.
now, like the website that I gave you, we just got that up and running
Uh-huh.
about a week ago. And there, again, there was a girl who needed my help with getting her life back on track, who happened to know how to make a website. So
Oh,
that didn't cost me nothing either.
right. So in a way,
Yeah.
you're getting your customers to build your business for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's the fun part, uh, because people started coming, and I just wanted to help them, and those
Hmm.
were the ones that was actually helping to get us, known, like my Facebook page or my Twitter page, because I didn't really know that much about all that, and
Uh-huh.
they were the ones that got it started for me, and my son, who is a photographer, him and some of his guy friends would take pictures for us. So it was like a lot of things that normally would cost you money. It
Hmm.
didn't really cost me a lot of money, because the people that I were helping, they were so grateful that they would just use their own talents and their gifts to help me, to help, to give back to me.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Cheryl, you bring us, like the purpose of this type of hangouts is often to encourage young
Yeah.
entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs to start their projects. You bring up a really interesting point, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I think a lot of people we have this conception that people buy what we sell, right? I sell chocolate chess pieces. Well, people want chocolate chess pieces, therefore they come to Rafi to buy chocolate chess pieces.
Right.
Or Cheryl sells, in your case, you're selling some ideas or
Encouragement.
some
Yeah.
encouragement, right? So people think that, well, they're coming to you for that, but really people are buying not what you're selling, but why you're selling it.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, I think a lot of people are stepping forward and helping you because you've been able to transfer your passion over to them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree that's a really important concept in business of any nature?
I do. I really do. The supply and demand. So
Right.
if you supply, if you are supplying those people, because, well, here's the thing, it doesn't matter what it is that you offer. If nobody wants it, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But I have learned, just by the things that I went through, that what I do, encouragement is, everybody wants it.
Mhm.
Everybody wants it. And when their lives starts changing, it's not
Yeah.
hard to sell it. It's not hard to sell it, because everybody, I don't care who you are, they're looking for happiness. Everybody, I don't care who you are. And so if you can help people to obtain that, then they want it. That's they want it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's very good. I think a lot of young people, when they're asked in school, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? They give you all sorts of answers, but I think the answer that people are really trying to give you is they want to be happy when they grow up. We don't ever hear that
Exactly.
as an answer, though.
Yeah.
That's a good
Exactly.
point.
Yeah.
Um, so let me ask you. By the way, if what is the name of your website that where people can reach you? What is it called?
It's called Jules, the number four, Jules.com.
Okay, julesforjules.com. Very good.
Uh-huh.
So I think we kind of already talked a little bit about it. What would you say your target market would be? Would it be only people that have gone through those kind of situations, or would it be just anyone looking to kind of find out what you do? Who would you say your target market is for your organization?
Um, Obviously anybody, but I'm noticing my target audience are women, wounded and hurting women. And
Hmm.
usually it's those, like my background is I was molested as a kid. I had my first child in high school. I ended up having an abortion, and so usually women that have been through a few things, those are the
Yeah.
ones coming to me. And because life sometimes will beat you up, because life happens, and sometimes life will beat you up, or people will beat you up. And I want to encourage those people that don't matter what your background is, that there's still something amazing that you could do. For instance, I just told you everything that I've done, and here I am. I've started a nonprofit organization with $0, and I'm divorced. So I am
Mhm.
proof that your background can be awful, and you still can do some amazing things. You still
Yep.
can. Yeah,
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. That's a
yeah,
very, very good point to remember, I think.
yeah.
Very good. Um, so let's
And
see.
young people need to know that. Like young people need to know that whatever your passion is, you don't have to get the money first. You don't have
Mhm.
to wait to like, well, let me get $1 million, let me get $20,000, and then I'll start it. No, no,
Right.
no, no. You can start with your passion, and just like me, get some friends, or like I started Starbucks. That didn't cost me anything. Just
Hmm.
talking and wanting to better people. So you don't necessarily have to get the money first. You can start with
Yeah.
your passion and let your passion take you to the money.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
very, very good point, I think.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, in business, a lot of people chase the money, and if you chase the money, I think it'll run out. But if you
I
chase what
agree
you're
too.
passionate about, the
Yeah,
money will always come to you. That's kind of usually how it works for all successful people. If you look at the list of
yeah,
them, they all done things because they wanted to do it, not because they thought it's the most lucrative thing out there.
right, right. And like I
Very
was
good.
telling you before, I do this not because I make money doing it. I do it for the enjoyment of watching people's lives get better.
Yeah.
That's payment for me.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
that's that's very good. That's a very noble way to look at it, I think.
yeah.
What would you say are some milestones you intend to reach within a year for your organization? Is it exactly where you want it to be? Do you want it to grow? Do you want it to shrink? How do you see your organization in the future?
Sure, yeah, I want it to grow. Um, I would love to get some grants. That's what I'm looking for currently, people that know how to write grants. I would love to have my own office. Right now, I do a lot of things from home, or if I'm not doing it from home, I'm doing it from the hotel. So I would love to have a my own location. So that's something that I'm working on within this year. And yeah, more people, the more the better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So will Jules for Jules at any point have any kind of membership dues or anything like that? Or will it always be a free service to women?
I would like for it to be free, because most of the women that come to me, they're
Mhm.
already usually they're broken by, maybe they're a single mom, or maybe they're going through a divorce. And usually, if you're going through those situations, or maybe you are just starting out in college, or what have you, and you really don't
Mhm.
have money. I don't think, me personally, I don't think that it's fair that you not be able to help people because they don't have the money and they need the help.
Right.
So yeah, if people want to donate, that's fine. But I personally, and because I've been there again, I was the single mom with the 4 children,
Hmm.
and I've been divorced, and so I know what it's like when you really need every dollar that you have, but you need the help. You really need the help, and so because I've been there, I don't want to charge people just because they want a better life. I don't think. I mean, how do you charge for that? I mean, I know
Right.
people do, doctors and psychologists and those kind of things. That's fine, but me personally, I
Yeah.
don't want to. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a very, I think, unselfish way to go about things, and I mean, if you're making it work like that, that's wonderful. I think a lot of people
Yeah,
just, I think, wouldn't be in a financial position to be able to. A lot of people may want to do that, but I think it's
yeah,
really tough. Like you're yes, you're not necessarily putting money into it, but sometimes you're putting in time, and time might equal money.
for,
A lot of people. So you're in a really unique position to be able to
yeah,
volunteer your time like that in such a nice
yeah.
way. Very, very
And
nice.
the thing is too is, like as far as charging and those kinds of things, like the ladies that I have helped, or Jules have helped. Again, there was one lady that wrote my 501c3, And even though I didn't charge her, look at the service that I got back from her because I
Mm,
didn't charge her to help her. Or the lady that did my website. Say, what if I had my thought had been, well, I'm not going to help you unless I charge you, right? But I
right.
helped with no charge, and this ends up being a lady to do a no charge website. So to
Yeah,
me, it kind of goes back, it evens itself out.
it does. Very good.
Yeah. Hmm.
Excellent. Um, so here's an important question I have for you is I'm sure this will very much apply to you. What are some challenges that you faced in the past or are facing or plan to maybe face in the future with your organization or with your life in general, right? You're kind of managing, your life with you said you had multiple kids and then you have this nonprofit that takes up a lot of time but doesn't bring in any revenue. How do you manage this? What are some challenges?
um, time. I mean, time for myself. um, like I said, money is always a challenge because I
Mhm.
want the more money you make, the more people I'll be able to help. So I think money is the biggest challenge that I have, and
Mhm.
because I do a lot in the Christian scene, there are a lot of people that don't believe women should speak, and so that's a challenge that I'm also facing is that because I am a female, I shouldn't be able to speak. I shouldn't be able to, because I go to conferences and stuff, and so some people think I shouldn't be able to do that because I'm a woman. And honestly, that's like one of the biggest challenges that I have more than anything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I mean you're leading in women's conference. What would what gender do they expect you to be?
I don't know. Well, I say some men have a problem.
Right. Okay.
Some men have a problem
Yeah.
that I do what I do. But in the same breath, though, there's nobody else doing it, and it needs to
Right.
be done. Like everybody talks about welfare and single moms and those kinds of things. Well, the people that I'm helping are those people, so that they will get off welfare, so that they will have ambition and self-esteem, and so they'll go out and get a job or maybe go to college or one day get married. But somebody has to talk to those people that it can
Exactly.
encourage them and tell them you can do better than this. You don't have to stay here.
Right.
So somebody needs to. So I want to do it.
Very good. That's a very nice idea, and I
Yeah,
really like the entire concept of it.
yeah.
Um, so here's a question that I like to answer all of our guest speakers. Again, like I said, the idea of this channel is kind of to encourage young people,
Okay.
or people with anyone with ideas, such as kind of like the ideas that you have, to start doing some, like taking some measurable steps towards their goal.
Hmm.
Um, with that being said, let's say I am a rookie entrepreneur, right? I want to be an wannabe entrepreneur. I want to start my own business, but I don't have a single clue as to how to start a business or how to take any idea from a concept phase into an actual physical deal. What would you say are the first or the five most important things that anyone trying to start a business or a nonprofit or any kind of organization or any project, what do they need to know? The five most important tips you would give them.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna always come from a Christian thing. So number one, I would say trust God. Like even if you really don't know what you're doing, trust that He's gonna lead you and take you on those steps. Just trust that He'll do it, and just have the courage to just step out there. So number one, I'd say trust God.
Mhm.
Number two, I would say, no matter what it is that you're trying to do, always keep your integrity. Always keep your character. Don't let anybody try to, sell you off. Always keep who you are to be genuine and authentic. Third thing I would say is always find ways to grow. Maybe you can't afford to go to school, but you can get books at the library. Maybe you can read at Books a Million. You can get on YouTube and just watch different things that you're trying to learn. But no matter what, always find something that you're growing, that you're self-improving all the time. Never stop doing that. The fourth thing I would say is in the middle of you building your business or ministry or what have you, don't forget your friends. Don't forget your family. Maybe they may know some things that you don't. And also don't forget to stay in relationship with those people, because I've learned, like, you may win at building your business, but you'll lose your family, which is really, to me, a loss. So don't forget your family and don't forget your friends. And that's about it. Yeah. Oh, and be patient. Be
Hmm.
patient. Like, Rome wasn't made in a day, and just be patient. And no matter what, just keep going. And even if you fail, even if something mess up, you just pick yourself up. I promise you, in the 3 years that I've been doing this, I have made some awful mistakes, but
Hmm.
I just picked myself up and I just kept going, no matter what. Like, even Steve Jobs messed up, but look what he's made,
Yeah.
So don't get down on yourself because you make mistakes. It's a part of the process. It really is.
Yeah. I don't think I could have said that any better. I would have said the exact same things that you did, but you just said it much, much more eloquently than I did. Those were very, very good 5 tips. I think,
Good.
in fact, anyone can benefit from those, no matter what size
Yeah,
business you have.
yeah.
Very good. Um, so that kind of brings us towards the end of our discussion. The last thing I wanted to ask you is, I'm sure there's lots of women out there, maybe ones who are in that kind of situation that you're helping. They want to reach out to you. So, what is the best way that people can contact you if they want to ask you some questions, if they want to join Jewels for Jewels? What's your best contact method?
They can call my office. You want me to give you my office number?
Sure, whatever is the best way to reach
Okay.
you.
Okay. Well, obviously, you can go to my website, jewelsforjewels.com. You can call
Hmm.
my office, 731-427-0246. You can find me on Facebook under Cheryl King, or you can find me on Facebook under Jewels for Jewels. You can find me on Twitter under Cheryl King, or you can find me on Twitter under Jewels for Jewels.
Okay, sounds great. I'm sure lots of people will be watching this, hopefully, and will reach
Yeah,
out to you. So
I hope so.
that's great. Again, Cheryl, thanks so much for joining
Oh, it's
us.
my pleasure.
This was a
Yeah.
very enlightening talk for me. I think definitely I learned a lot of things myself from talking to you and listening to you. I'm sure whoever ends up watching this video will hopefully also pick up new things, and most importantly, they'll learn something, they'll listen, but they will take some action towards whatever idea that they have. And look at how you did it as an example of how it can be done by anyone with
Yeah.
no money, no previous experience, and coming
No,
from
don't
crazy.
even have a degree. I don't even have a college degree.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing what people can do. But
Yeah.
anyway, thanks again so much for joining us.
Yeah, no
Really enjoyed it.
problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, you have a great night.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.